So recently I was replaying the Metro games. They've always kind of stuck out to me in many ways, but when I was looking at people's opinions online, I saw that so many people absolutely adored Exodus, to a level that completely overshadowed the previous games. And like, I remember first hearing about the series, I genuinely thought Exodus was the only damn game until I looked a little bit more into it and learned that Exodus was a continuation of two already existing games that are phenomenal in their own way and are based off books that house a lot more details about the world within their pages. I still haven't read the third book, but let's not bring attention to that. The thing I wanted to bring up is that many people view Exodus as better because of the large open levels and interactivity, which, by the way, the latter being something that did exist in the previous games, which made me realize that there's a very big trend going on in the video game industry, especially in AAA gaming. So many games view massive open worlds and big branching dialogue choices as a necessity. I don't remember the last time a video game that had a simple point A to point B structure got big. And that brings me to the topic of this video: is linearity bad in video games? Ever since their creation, video games have promised you only one thing. You can be the Formula 1 driver, you can be the jumping plumber, you can be the alien fighting super soldier, you can be the main character. An important question is if the protagonist actually has freedom to do whatever he wants, or is he just following a set path that the developers made for him. Free choice has been a thing in gaming for a long time now. We had those old text games, then we got point and clicks like Clock Tower. Stuff like Resident Evil gave you a big map with puzzles and a couple bullets and said go for it. We also got stuff like visual novels and a lot more. The idea of freedom is a big thing in gaming and has been included in many different ways. The question is if that freedom is inherently good. First thing that comes to my mind when I think of freedom in gaming is the open world. Games like GTA have made the open world kind of a necessity when you think about it. Games like Uncharted, Tomb Raider, or The Last of Us, which are by nature very linear stories, not really having unnecessary side quests or skill trees and stuff like that, aren't like a dying breed or anything, but I feel like they're becoming less prevalent nowadays. Companies have interpreted the term linear as bad, which is simply not the case. There's nothing wrong with just telling a good story. Like, I'll give you an example using the game that inspired this goddamn video. The Metro games follow the story of Artyom as he faces the challenges of a post-apocalyptic Russia. The first two games are very linear, where Artyom spends most of his time in tunnels of Moscow's metro stations, while Exodus has quite a bit of big open levels. These open levels are so fucking empty, dude. It's so annoying to have to go to a specific area in the map, especially in the fucking snowy level. And these levels have multiple endings depending on what you do throughout the game, but the previous games had the exact same thing, so I don't see the point. Like, genuinely, if you can do everything the game does with a more linear map, why the fuck are you forcing me to walk around the middle of nowhere? The thing that's even more frustrating is the fact that Exodus has linear levels with lots of action and shit to do, which further confuses me as to why putting me in a boring desert was necessary. So many damn games think they need to make these fucking big ass maps that are just kinda empty when you think about it. Like, this is one of the reasons I never ended up beating Arkham City. This shit just isn't fun. Asylum put you in this little tiny map, which I think worked so much better, and yes, I do recognize that they're most likely going for something else, but the game didn't grab me, especially because of the traversal. Red Dead. The game is spectacular, it's one of the best written things ever, but are the miles and miles of empty fields necessary? And I know I can fast travel, but that doesn't answer the question of why is this in the game. Black Flag is my least favorite Assassin's Creed game, merely because I am forced to travel in this big ass clunky ship in this gigantic empty ocean. These games, man, look at these streets, there's nothing going on.
Boring! How does that work?
So many games have prioritized having this bland, realistic lifelike open world. This is a completely different tangent, by the way, but fucking RTX and Reflections have unironically become more important than a fun experience. And do you know how much this costs? Studios are pouring a small country's GDP to make this pointless bullshit. So yeah, support indie games, guys. A very large amount of games also give you the illusion of freedom and choices, when that's not really the case. I remember when Cyberpunk first released and people were talking about how no matter what character you choose, everything will basically be exactly the damn same. I think I also have to bring up games that give you the choice of like being good or evil, and let's be serious for a second. What regular person is gonna choose to be a villain on their first playthrough, especially when it's so comedically evil sometimes? Like, how many people actually do the genocide route in Undertale? Because I don't know anyone in my personal life who actually did that shit, okay? If you're a streamer and want to get views, I don't see why you would want to murder everyone in your path. Something else I also have to mention is a comparison between games like The Walking Dead and Detroit Become Human. Like, The Walking Dead is a game that promotes itself with important choices, but the game always ends up exactly the same. Like, here's an example. At the end of Season 2, Clementine has the choice of ending up alone or going with the person she ends up with at the end. No matter what you choose here, she ends up alone at the start of Season 3, and you cannot change that. Detroit Become Human, on the other hand, has a lot of endings. The three main characters can die and live in multiple different ways, but it's not really written in the best way with how multiple story beats are really executed well. Like, both of these are very good games, by the way, but would you choose the game that inherently gives you more choices, or the one with the more emotionally gripping story, even if the choices aren't actually that important? Like, Detroit has more endings, but it feels like it has that just so it can be marketed on the front of the box. Like, I prefer The Walking Dead not because it gave me more choices, but because the story is more thought out, to be honest. I actually got teary-eyed at the end of Season 1. That's how good it is.
Lee, you know how to pick a lock, right?
No. Why would you say that?
You're, you know, urban?
Oh, you are not saying what I think you're saying.
Jesus, man, I'm from Florida.
We've also got stuff like Genshin Impact, and no matter what your opinion on that game is, I've already made a video about it, it gives you just random ass dialogue choices, and I don't know why, because the game always ends the same. Like, I don't need to be constantly pressing buttons. If I wanted to watch a cutscene, I watch the cutscene. My attention span isn't that bad.
Stop it. Get some help.
So in conclusion, freedom is a good thing, don't get me wrong, but it has to be, like, good. A lot of this freedom that games give you is either like not true freedom, or not worth it, or not executed the best. And I do think there's games that do give you truly really good freedom. There are open worlds that are really detailed. There's multiple choice games with choices that are actually super important. It's just the fact that many games do not have that. I don't really know how to write an outro for this video, so I'll just end it here. Thank you for watching the video, believe in yourself, never give up, and goodbye.
Jesus, man, I'm from Florida. Crazy shit just comes out of my mouth sometimes.